I've recently become a huge convert for using an iPad to not only read music, but also to write out my own charts for both recording sessions and live performances. Today I want to share with you my process of how I use the ForScore app to write out my own music, as well as some of the super cool features that ForScore has that can make your life so much easier in a live performance situation. Let's get into it. What's up everyone, welcome to Drummer's Perspective. My name is Ben Todd and I'm here to help broaden your scope of what's possible as a drummer. Thanks so much for checking out this video here today. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. That really does help me out and it lets you know next time I got a video coming out. So as mentioned, I recently jumped on the iPad train. More specifically, this is an iPad Pro, and I have to say I was on the fence about doing this for a long period of time, but now that I've made this switch over, I'll probably never go back to using paper. Now there's many reasons for that, which I'll get into a little bit later on in the video, but I will just say that this has been a really big game changer for me for not only reading music, but as I'm going to show you in this video, writing out music as well. So, with all that being said, iPad Pro is the model that I decided to go with, mainly because it's the closest to an actual size of A4 paper that you can get. And yeah, reading charts, it just looks so much cleaner and more what you're used to than any kind of downsizing on a smaller size iPad. So what I thought would be interesting to do was to show you how I write out a chart using an iPad, an Apple Pencil, and with the ForScore app, which I really highly suggest you get if you do end up using an iPad for reading music or writing out music. It's super cool. I only know a fraction of the things that it can do, but already, as I said, it's been a big game changer for me in what is possible and just makes life so much easier in so many ways. So I'm going to demonstrate writing out a piece of music that I am going to be doing for a session for an artist who I work with quite a lot. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But for now, yeah, I would say grab your iPad and grab ForScore and grab the Apple Pencil and let's get into it. So I'll just start off by saying that I recently put out a video that was kind of demonstrating how I write out drum charts from more of a technical point of view and some of the notation and shortcuts that I use in that sense. Everything that I talk about in that video is directly relatable to this video as well in terms of how I actually notate things and the speed in which I do that. But obviously the medium is different going from paper to digital on the iPad, but everything in that video is still very relevant. So, as mentioned, I'm going to use a track that I'm going to be recording probably tomorrow for an artist that I work with quite a lot called Mike. And this particular song is going to be on an album that's coming out, Straight Steel Sun. And the track itself is called Tuesday's Girl. So first thing I'll do is pull the track up in Logic, and I have a no drums version and a version with a drum guide. So I'll pull that into Logic like that. And there it is. Boom. So that's ready to go. Cool. So next I'll go into the iPad, and this is ForScore. It's just a blank sheet of paper at the moment. What I like to do when I'm writing out my own music is use the templates, or make my own template more specifically, that are within ForScore. So this is just a blank sheet at the moment, but if you go up to the top here and you go and press on the little briefcase icon there, you can go down to where it says templates, click on that, and the second one in the selections here is basically blank manuscript. So I just select that and go save, and I'll title this something like drum chart template, save. Cool, so that basically brings up a blank sheet of manuscript paper. So from there, I really like to pre-draw all the bar lines in. It just makes things a little bit cleaner and easier down the track. So I'm going to be skipping over some of the details of how you actually use ForScore, but it's a very intuitive program. Once you get it and start messing around with it a little bit, you'll find that it's really simple to use and understand. But yeah, what I like to do now is put in some bar lines. So you can just hold down and it brings up the toolbar here, and it's got a super cool little ruler. So you can drag that across anywhere you want on the page, and then if you use your pencil with the line selection or the writing tool, you can get really straight lines up against the ruler. So I'll go a little bit thicker line just there, and I'll draw in these bar lines really quick, like that. Right down the middle, and then half, roughly half here, like this. And then again on the other side. And again on the end. Great. So now we have pretty much all the bar lines drawn in. Also, to get a bit more of a template to work from in the future as well, I'll just put in some text now, because I'm always probably going to be using like putting a title on a chart at least. So yeah, I'm going to put in some text right now. Just at the top there. I'm just going to put title. And you can make the text bigger, so I'm going to make it 48, or 48, just like that. Boom. And drag it up there. Cool. So that's going to be my new drum chart template. So now I go up to the little briefcase icon again, go down to where it says rearrange, and I'm going to go save, and this is going to overwrite what I just saved, like chart writing template. So yes, I want to do that. So now that's going to be, whenever I choose chart writing template in the selection, this is what's going to come up, which is great. It's something to work with. Great. So from now, I'll double tap this and rename this one Tuesday's Girl, like that. Drag it out, center it just to be neat. Cool, and now we're pretty much ready to go. So yeah, now I'm just going to write out this chart like I would any other drum chart, using the pencil and listening through, and yeah, we'll kind of take it from there. The thing that I really love about the iPad and writing out charts like this is that you can, well, many things, but you can zoom in. So if you've got some intricate notation to write out, you can really get in there and get quite detailed with it. It's obviously got all of the pre-saved kind of dynamics and symbols that you can use if you want to do that. To be honest, I don't really find myself using it that much. I'm more just using it like a piece of paper at this stage. But you can also, like, even just choosing different colors to write out with can be really, really handy as well. And obviously different thicknesses of the line, all of that kind of stuff. It's just so intuitive, and the features are really, really super cool. As I said, I only know a fraction of them, but already I'm finding it to be a big game changer. Cool. All right, so let's take a listen through this chart and write it out. Bars rest, sounds like. Yep.
Over time, the sun subsides, but when will you decide? Sign
pause it right there to catch those little hits. 1, 2, 3, bop, bop. I think that was what it was. To the verse again.
They missed surrender, but something stayed the same. I tattoo your name across my heart. It wasn't in vain, but Tuesday falls for you.
Cool. All right. It's a cool song, groovy song. And yeah, we've got the whole chart written out now. So as I was doing that fairly fast, just pretty much one listen through and a little stop to get those hits there. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I would need to record this or play this in a live situation. But now that we have this, the really cool thing about ForScore is you can go back and erase and edit if it's too messy, or actually put in text where I've written text. As an example here, we can get rid of that bit there where it says loose and actually put it in text. If we, there we go, loose hats, that kind of thing. And then we can also erase this very uneven looking crescendo, and you know, depending how detailed you want to get with things and accurate how you want to get with things, you can really make it look very nice and clean. But yeah, as mentioned, this is going to be fine for me. So yeah, that's pretty much the chart and how I'd write it out using ForScore. Now, some of the things that you can do, say if I was to be going to be using this in a live gig and as part of a set list, the way that you can save it and reference it later on is really cool. So now that I have this chart good to go, I'm going to go back up here and save it. Go up here to the briefcase, go rearrange, and we go save as. Tuesday's Girl. Save. So now this is saved as its own chart within ForScore. We can go up to the info tab here, go to no composers because I haven't put any tags on this yet. We can find Tuesday's Girl, click on information, and you can go up here and you can add a composer. So as I said, this particular artist name is Mike, so I can make a new one, Mike. And now every time I go into add a new chart, his name will come up as a composer in this list here that I can select. Great. So there's his name right there, and Tuesday's Girl is right there. So now that we have the chart and we have a tag associated with it, as you can see, you can add a whole bunch of different tags to this. You can say the genre, label, time signature, key signature, all of that kind of stuff. You can add it to a set list if you're going to be using it, as I said, with other songs that you're going to be playing on a live performance or something like that. But one really cool feature that I've found using this already on some live gigs is the metronome feature that you can add to this. So in the past, I've had my music on a music stand, and also if I'm using a click, I'll just have my phone underneath with the tempo app to have all of the tempos saved in a set list there. But you can actually add the tempo of the song to this chart, which is really cool feature. As I said, if you're using it in a live performance situation, you can just use everything on the iPad and not have to worry about running a separate metronome or phone with a click track on it. So I can see from this file name that it's BPM 120. So what you do if you want to add a metronome into the chart is go up to rearrange, the briefcase, push on buttons, and it'll bring up this page here, and you can go action and select all these different kinds of actions. As I said, I only know kind of the surface level stuff about what ForScore can do, but this particular feature I've found really useful already. So make sure metronome is selected, go back to label, which is what you want to have it titled as, and I want this title as 120, which is the tempo of the song. The appearance is going to be a little button, a little circle with a line through it. Delay, I don't want any delay on when it starts. And then the tempo of it, you want to, yeah, as mentioned, it to be the same. So you put in 120 and push done. So now that that's ready to go, you just tap anywhere on the score that you want this little button to appear. And usually I like to have it up the top left. So I just tap that there, and it adds a little red button with 120 written in it. So now what you can do is, if you're on a gig, you will have a cable out of the iPad, presumably into a little mixer or just straight into some earphones, and you can push this button and it will start a metronome at the tempo of the song. Now you can get really detailed, and if you're using a chart that goes over multiple pages, you can say, say if this is 128 bars long, you can say, once you start the metronome, you might say, after 128 bars, I want you to go to the next page of music. All of that kind of stuff is so handy and can be useful on a gig. But for me, yeah, as I said, I'm just really using kind of the bare basic features, but already it's really great. So metronome is right there. One other cool thing you can do if you don't want to have the audio side of the metronome is you can actually select a visual element to use. So at the moment, you just click on this little metronome up the top here, and you can go down to visible. Now you can see that the edges of the page are actually kind of pulsing in and out. So if you're reading the chart, you can just see in the periphery of your vision kind of a motion, and that will indicate what the tempo is, which is really cool. So you can have a loose guide for that, even just to get the tempo at the start of the song and then switch it off, or look away, or whatever you want to do. Then it's just a nice reference. And up there again at the metronome, you can choose both. So that will be a visual representation as well as the audio representation of the click. So yeah, and to turn it off, obviously just tap it again and it will go off. So yeah, that's a few of the really cool features that I'm already using with ForScore and writing out charts in this way. And as I said, it's been a really big game changer for me. There's no more anxiety on gigs when you're using multiple page charts and things are taped together and it's windy and you know, charts might blow away, or even if you're in a situation where there's not very much light and you need your own little sconce light on the music stand. Usually this is obviously backlit, so you know, you're going to be able to see everything all the time. Yeah, so I really love this way of writing out music and reading music now. Not to mention all of the kind of storing of music that you can have just on this thing. I mean, I remember doing gigs, even doing, you know, 2 or 3 different gigs in a day with different artists, and you're carrying around 2 or 3 different stacks of music. You can have it all on the iPad. Not to mention any, like, you know, books that you're working from, exercise stuff, you know, anything like that. Obviously it can just be stored on this thing, and there's no more, you know, carrying briefcases and suitcases full of sheet music around. It's just, it's really revolutionary, and yeah, I'm loving going down this path. So yeah, I hope that this video has kind of shown you some of the ways that the iPad and using ForScore can be really beneficial if you're writing out music or reading music. But as always, I would love to hear from everyone out there. Are you using an iPad to read and write music, or ForScore? What are some of the ways that you're using it? Some of the cool features that you found to be really useful on a day-to-day basis? Please put it in the comments below, and I'd love to check it out. As I said, I'm still learning a lot about how to do this, but I wanted to share with you this video to just showcase kind of what I'm using it for at the moment. But I know I've got a long way to go and a lot more to learn. But I think we'll leave it there for today. Thank you so much once again for checking out this video. I hope you've learned something. I hope you found it to be fun and inspiring to kind of potentially try this for yourself. As always though, please head on over to drummersperspective.com and sign up to the mailing list if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you next time on Drummers Perspective.